Hey everybody, it's Tracy. Today is Tuesday, April 14th, and I wanted to jump on and talk to y'all about how things went today with my doctor's appointment. Today I had to go in for my other follicular ultrasound, as in my second one, not the baseline, but going back to follow up with it to see how things are progressing. And I also had labs done today to check on those levels as well, as we were trying to see if this would be a viable cycle for an IUI. And so got there just in the nick of time today due to road construction closures and things like that, and taking an alternate route. But I didn't have to wait long then. So I was able to go ahead and get in and do my follicular ultrasound, and I had a tech that I've had previously, and so I went ahead and asked her after the follicular ultrasound if there were any cysts present, if she could tell me that. And she kind of gave me a confused look, and was kind of confused what I meant, and then further explained. And so I told her that I've been having problems with cysts, and I wanted to know if I had any, because I thought that it was linked to the medication that I was taking. And yesterday, actually, my doctor did email me back and let me know that every woman has cysts, and it's just part of the process, but there would be the same reaction to any medication that I'm using in order to help with my ovulation. And so, that was a bit reassuring. But what the tech told me was even more so, because she was explaining that whenever I go in for the baseline, that is when they would be looking for quote unquote cyst, and that the lab result may say cyst, but that's not what they consider them in the fertility world, because everybody has them. To them, they're just another follicle. But what they're looking for is cysts during the baseline follicular ultrasound, and if they're present, that could be a problem, because they release estrogen, in my case, just hormones and chemicals, she was saying. So in my case, they release extra estrogen, and that only speeds up my cycle, and so I ovulate more quickly whenever there's cysts present because of those estrogen levels. And so she was saying if I didn't have cysts in the baseline ultrasound, then they would not classify any of them moving forward as cysts. It would just be considered follicles, and so they're looking for viable follicles. And there was all kinds of clicking and stuff today, so I kind of left there with a better understanding of what they're meaning about these cysts and things. And she was explaining too that usually the body just takes care of cysts on their own. It's usually where they absorb it or they release it before your next cycle. And so it's really not something to worry about, except for in my case during the baseline, because of that increased estrogen level. That's all what I'm gathering. She is not specifically telling me medical advice or anything like that. I don't want anybody to get in trouble, but I really appreciate the information or the insight that others have. So I like to try to ask some questions. And I'm so glad that I did, because I feel a lot better about it. Anyhow, had lab work done, no issues there. I'm always an easy stick, so it's very speedy in that department. Went ahead and went into work and got the results, about noonish. And first had read the lab results, and then shortly after, my team had messaged me. And so I kind of knew what was going on, because I saw appointments and the lab results first. So it ended up that I have 3 viable eggs as of right now. And on my left side, that is a 15.4 millimeter, a 12.6 millimeter, and then on my right side, a 13.0 millimeter eggs. And so we are going for an IUI this time. And that is scheduled for this upcoming Friday, the 17th. And this will be my IUI attempt number 4. And also just a reminder that this is a new donor as well. So I'm feeling pretty darn positive about things, and everybody around me is pretty much being really positive about this one, of course. Everybody just wants the best. But what else do we know? It's starting new medications. I'm starting a med that they call Estrace. I'm not a professional with this. Estrace PV. It's a 2 milligram pill that has to be taken vaginally because it is to thicken my endo lining. So they take that level 2 whenever they're in there doing the follicular ultrasound, and so it's going to better create a more welcoming environment for the egg to settle into. So that's also something that we're looking at doing. And so I take that, I think, for the next 4 nights, if I'm remembering correctly. And it does say to do so before bed to try to lessen any symptoms that I might have from it. Headache, dizziness, cramping, vomiting, the same old kind of stuff that all of these kind of say. So I'm on the way to the pharmacy now to pick that up. And then I'm doing my gonal F shot for 2 more nights. And that is what helps release and develop or mature more eggs. And so I do that for 2 more nights. And also after the IUI on Friday, then I will go back to doing progesterone twice daily for at least 2 weeks. And then we take the pregnancy test, and if it's positive, then that would continue until after 10 weeks. And if it's negative, then I would stop the progesterone and then wait and report cycle day 1 after that. So that's kind of my timeline with things right now. I had finished my other medication, and the letrozole, that is, where I did the triple dose. I have finished that then for this time, and just have to follow up with this new schedule of meds. And just reminding myself, I have it written down, guys, because I am not used to taking medication, and so I have to remind myself. I set timers, or alarms on my phone to try to remind me to. And then, of course, Trent and CO are definitely always trying to help me out with things too, and remind me or check in that I actually followed through, because my squirrel brain sometimes forgets things. Anyhow, I know it's kind of a weird thing, and I don't think that I've mentioned it to you guys yet, but I actually have like a huge Ziploc bag that some of my medication came in once upon a time, and I keep all of like my medicine bottles that are empty and any of the shots and stuff. It's like all in this bag, and it's like a little medication time capsule for me, like through this process. And like all the pregnancy tests and all of the ovulation tests and everything that I've had at home, I just kind of keep it in there like its own little time capsule. And it's getting quite full because we've been on this journey now for almost a year in May, even though I didn't start recording for you guys until my birthday in September. We've actually been going through it since May. And so there's a weird little tidbit for you guys. Maybe at some point I might show you that kind of a thing. They all have labels and stuff, and definitely it's just cartons and bottles and containers and things. But anyhow, it's quite full. I'm pretty impressed with myself. Just knowing that I don't normally take medicine, and I am maybe not the best person on following through with things, that I've been able to keep up with this for over a year, or coming up on a year. It impresses me that I've done that well with it. So, and I know that's silly. People take medicine every day, but it's something different for me. What else, guys? I don't really know. I'm just trying to keep everybody in our house upright and well. It seems like last Sunday, my men were just falling out and having a hard time, and so pain and soreness and literal falls and trying to keep things together. And if it was going to happen, it happened on Sunday. So our cats have a watering dish and like a fountain, and the pump went out on it, and I've only had it for 2 months. So it was like everybody had a problem on Sunday that needed fixing or needed my attention. And so just trying to get everybody back on track and keep moving forward. I'm sure that you all know how that is. Trent would like to call it the Hansen luck, but that's not true. He lucked out when he met me, So I love tucking that in there because he does watch these videos. So that one was especially for him. And I'm going to get off here as I'm driving along to the pharmacy to pick up my medicine. I'm cooking dinner tonight. I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe I should get out on the riding mower and get another cut done. This would be the second cut. We're supposed to have storms for like the rest of the week, and I'd kind of like to get it done before all of that happens, especially because all the dandelions are popping up, but they're not open yet. So I'd like to go ahead and kind of reduce that. Even though I know CO really loves dandelions. But that's kind of my plan. So I have no idea what I'm cooking for dinner. Something will just come to me. Luckily, the guys and I aren't really picky. So we'll throw together something for dinner tonight and make sure everybody's fed. So I will follow up with y'all after Friday probably, and just make sure on how things went in, and literally went in, and how the process was. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.